Welcome back. Let's talk about Kling 3.0 from the AI filmmaking point of view. What are the new features? How do you use them? What do I think about them? Let's get right into it. So first of all, the thing that grabbed me first was this new multi-shot concept. So what you can do is take your starting frame and then generate multiple shots using that same frame. Now Google VO and Sora 2, they've been able to do this. So this is where you would see different time codes and then you would talk about different shots. If you saw that type of prompting, that's been possible there, but it hasn't been in Kling. And what I like about Kling's version, though, is the new UI. I really don't like prompting. You should see my next video I'm making about how much I don't like it. So I never really liked having to put timecode prompt, timecode prompt, timecode prompt. And the new Kling UI interface allows us to have a more slightly visual way of approaching it. So this is what the Kling native website looks like when you're doing a multi-shot. You upload the style frame, and then you can add different shots, and they're just different text boxes. But just that difference alone really helps me visually. So you have each shot, you can say how long it's going to be. They can in total be 15 seconds, which is in an increase. And then each shot, you can describe different aspects of that different shot there. So lots of talk. Here's the first example I made. Let's watch it, and then we'll talk about it.
Clingy? No, I'm not.
I think that's a good thing.
And so I want to talk about what's really interesting about this from a filmmaking point of view. So I made a video about something that a lot of AI filmmakers ignore or forget, and that is the 180-degree rule. But you know what doesn't forget the 180-degree rule is Kling. And I don't know how they pulled this off. This is super fancy on their part. You take the wide shot, which establishes the line of coverage, and all the examples I've done where I then ask for a close-up of the man, close-up of the woman, every time it's kept the line of coverage intact. It never crossed the line. So that is huge for people that don't even know what the line of coverage is, that don't want to know, which fair enough, I guess, in AI worlds. Turns out Kling 3.0 pretty much automates staying on the right side of the line and creating the right type of close-up. So that is extremely impressive if you take nothing away from it. So far, I have not had it cross the line, and I've done a couple examples. Second is just general Kling 3.0 upgrades in general. So that is going to be things like the performances and the languages. So you saw the first performance that was in English, and I think that it did a pretty good job. And I think this is definitely starting to be VO 3.1 level of voice performances. And it's great to just see all the models in general, video and audio together, creating such great performances. So I think, if you can embrace the, current generation of AI performances, I think a lot of people are getting used to seeing them. They're just like, oh, it's an AI performance, but that one's pretty good. It's not trying to pass as a human all the time. I think it's just a new medium. And I think a lot of people are game just to be like, oh, that one did a pretty good job. Look how good the robot did, So another thing that I saw on X that really grabbed me was that Kling can do a bunch of different languages. I think it's English. I might be wrong here, so go look it up. But probably like Chinese, Korean, and maybe it was Japanese as well. I want to make some anime with some Japanese voices. So I basically took that script, if you can call it that. It wasn't a script. It was just like some dialogue I wrote really quickly. No thoughts involved with it. But I took that English script and I went to Google Translate and I translated it to Korean, which gives me Korean text, which I cannot read and I can't speak Korean either. Some of my family can. I can't speak Korean. So I'm just doing this for fun. And so we go back to Kling's website and I switch out the English text for the copied and paste actual Korean text there that, again, I can't read. And I was like, can Kling actually make Korean performances? And here's the final film.
집착이 심하고요? 아니요, 저는 그렇지 않아요.
저는 그것이 좋은 일이라고 생각합니다.
The final film. Yes, it's an amazing film here, or the scene anyway. So the performance is in Korean. It took the Korean text and made Korean voices and Korean lip sync. And here's some comments from LinkedIn from some of my fellow Korean peers here, mostly from the 3D space, saying that, yeah, the Korean performance is pretty good. And a funny little story about the Korean version. This is really niche, but I wrote Klingy with a K in the English version subtitle because it was kind of like, a pun with Kling and Klingy, like Kling the AI model and whatnot. And then when I put it into Google Translate, I forgot to change it from the K Klingy to the C Klingy, and it actually translated it to some sort of Korean pun version, which again, I don't understand in writing or in words, but people who understand Korean said that the pun was pretty good. So this is AI doing all the carrying. It even made a funny pun. It did the performances. And again, Kling 3.0, I guess, can do Korean performances as well. Someone said it even looks like how a K-drama actor might perform those lines. So it's getting much better. So these are going to be kind of like little jokes here, but I have a running kind of meme joke on my main Instagram channel that's called Cinematography Database. That's a whole story. If you want to see what's going on over there, you can see it, but I'm posting a ton of AI videos over there. Not everyone loves it. Most people don't love it, but to test some of the new Kling 3.0 elements or like mini LORAs, I made a couple test videos. Here is one of them.
Stereo. Stereo. IMAX. Stereo. IMAX.
So the interesting thing about this video is that it was trained from an element, or kind of LORA as the way I think about it, using the new Kling 3.0 element system, where I used a video of myself to train the LORA, the element. So this is the video that I recorded that I trained the element / LORA in Kling 3.0. Very compelling. Here it is. So it's basically me sitting here, and I look forward, I look to the side, and I look down. It has to be 8 seconds. You can upload that 8-second video to Kling. That is now your element. I named it Matt something, like Matt Studio or something like that. And then you can bind that to the new Kling 3.0 elements, and that is how we're getting such good facial consistency in that video. Now, I know that video is weird because it's like, I'm like lifting up a bar and my face is making, I'm making a funny face, but this is really interesting. This is the first platform where I've ever uploaded a video to train my LORA. Very cool. Now, one thing to point out about this is that you can't use the video LORA or the video element of like your face and do multi-shot. It doesn't quite work out. What happens is if you bind the element of like my face trained from the video, for instance, what happens if you do multiple shots is that it's basically going to smoothly blend between the two shots. So I called out a wide shot, which was the starting frame of me holding the barbell, and then I called out a close-up of me saying the lines, right? So if we did regular multi-shot without the element binding, without the LORA, it would do a cut. And this is what that looks like.
Stereo. IMAX. Stereo. IMAX.
So that's the regular starting frame, multi-cut. And we actually have a cut, but you'll see in the close-up that it doesn't look like me as much, right? Because it's using information from the wide shot, there's less information. But again, if you then add the element, the LORA of my face, and use that same prompt, you basically get this kind of smooth transition shot. So kind of a nuance of the system. Everyone will figure this out. I watched a bunch of other people's videos and they said something similar. I was like, what does that mean? So here's another person saying it. You can definitely use, when you use the LORAs and the elements, you're basically looking to design one shot. Like it can be an orbit shot all the way around, or like, different camera moves and whatnot, but it's not going to make multiple shots in most cases. It's going to just kind of smoothly transition. But within that shot, your face or the element that you're putting in there will be really consistent.
IMAX! IMAX! Stereo! IMAX! Stereo! Stereo!
So those are my main 3 things about Kling 3.3 that I liked. Multi-shot, very cool, doesn't cross the line. Performances and language is pretty awesome. And the new video-based LORA for, longer 15-second shots where the person really will stay the same or some element will stay the same, those are incredible, game-changing things about it. I said that in my last video, kind of news video about Kling, is that it's game-changing. These really are. If Kling 3.0 is your main model, if you're using it on their website or Higgsfield or some other platform, all of these things are a big deal, especially if you don't come from a traditional filmmaking background. You don't necessarily know how to design the best close-ups that match. Well, as much as I hate to say it as a former cinematographer, Kling 3.0 will pick some pretty good close-ups for you, and you could probably just rock with that, and in most cases, you'll probably be fine. So that wraps it up for this video. Thank you so much to Kling and Tony. I am a CPP for them now, which is very awesome. So I have earlier access to this platform and, you know, a lot of credits to test, right? So I'm testing and giving feedback and then also making videos about it here. I will be doing a lot of sponsored content, if that's what we want to call it, moving forward, because I don't want to pay for all of this stuff. Let's be real. As a content creator, I want to try all these different platforms, and I've been doing this for a while in different industries, and it just so happens that, well, a lot of different platforms need people to test it privately for them and give them feedback and do consulting, and then also make marketing content. So again, if that wasn't clear, that's what this channel is. That's what it is. You could basically say sponsored for every single video I'm going to make forever because, again, I get a lot of credits for free. I'm doing a lot of testing and whatnot, but I try to give realistic results. I'll show you the footage. You don't like how it looks and you know, I'm full of shit, then, you know, that's fine too. But just wanted to put that out here at the end of the video that, again, if it's not clear, I am working with almost like every single platform that I'm going to be making a video for, but try to show what the results are for myself and then for the whole community that's interested. So that wraps up for this video, and I'll see you on the next one.